I was a mom. Good evening. Akwa Baba Jasu Jumedi. You are live on OK 101.7 FM. You're sound live also on NASPA Radio UK. You're live on Migachu FM. Blessed Tony Law Nini team. Good evening to you, Tony Law. Any team Nina. And you're live on Kings Jersey Radio. New Jersey. You're live on Almighty High Live Radio. DMV our fire. Also Nini team. No more boy Juma. And someone no mugumu yo private edumane radio edumane nyina. Good evening. Akwa bagana so niema bebre na ekoso na said the development no is enshrined or clothed in your constitution it no. E say mra eye aduma whichever stage e bedru bia. Enti na ye bekom kofi aduma chi na ya chi no na diverse na itatis. I'll show you why e diverse na itatis. Go Ghana there. So one politics na say niema bebre omo de bejam woni so. Again, the main focus na ye hwe ho asem ye President Mahama 120 day. Ono a President Mahama ma ye adwuma bi si enyema no. Adwuma odi ba ye si enyema ne so ono a oba or an agenda bi odi beba which is 120 day plan. Eno na ye bekom ni akwakoche se President Mahama ono a 120 day plan. It is saying na tie we look at an 120 day plan or we look at whether niema ono adi si na ni so obeye no. Wetumi aye ni nyina anaso ntumi nye ni nyina. This is President Mahama ono kasa the 120 day plan, and we're going to go into the 120 day plan. No? Galamsey wasem LGBTQ plus law. Omakaso ombeye yebe pass. Besi ne pass ye. We don't know what is happening. Say see our President Mahama say agenda 111 na President Kufuor must start here no majai. They are going to do their own agenda. Another developmental project. And I'm comfortable because ye disika kosha the agenda 111 ni muda. Ade ne ye ni ye. But you see, the politics of menam de buy, the routine na Mahama yesano. Because me kai pass health insurance for many years in Ghana, your politics, your politics are sent obesine. Chinchina when they health insurance by forgetting the fact that say when they buy or say when they buy you, a Ghana is scan ye. So really, uko advanced countries you know to say UK ne America. Obi anyone more your politics na me di way na buy na me accept your policy direction. Name of my dear said your money sika A B C D. Yeah, shut up to this way na buy because and you sika now the year. Unless it's policy to Obama day or to Obama na day health care buy for or more money be any idea or friend Obama care. To say the President Mahama the person or the boy you know Mahama care see. Obi enu to Obama time and or the buy but federal government sika and no mudi tua. So it's when I'm Dubai, when I'm that's the kind of politics in Tiama Mahama say on to agenda 111 so. And I did when you and Nkoaa start you, President Kufuor time. Oh yeah, affordable housing. At a most by see him twice in a jar down in the goon room, not taxpayers' money a share. Mahama by no so I on Nkoaa the okay it's a project. Apart from before I said me, but no, there was a project Ghana government in Korea 4 years or mobile STS Korea. And then also shigui and some saglemi ba ye Kufuor the soba no so JC ho say Nkoaa this Canada the case was in court and I be seen there. So because of this politics of menam de buy all those can here GOG sika government of Ghana sika nti and Mahama so ojai agenda 111 ho no nkasa kwa koye ne it's sad. Meanwhile, you see, and the trick is this the reason why Mahama yes and say agenda 111 President Kufuor the more time my contract dada and more often than not and Kufuor most of your governments in bags our contract you the party for party chairman you be need want to me case yeah yes you want to me road contract and can you want to me on your road contractor in the end then road contract they always say you want to me credit in but this is the way I yet we do see a politics now be draw. Your politics now is so cheap, say party chairman for one and the omoje contract. Meanwhile, your Contractors Association of Ghana, open building contractors road contractors abang gradi omako. Contractors Association abang the omaka. And so near assign more school architecture, or construction, building engineering, road engineering, or money and fact contracting money they are party for. Inti why would Mahama ba on kaso no so ojai no so akwa ne no so dia ma NDC party for make us say NDC executive regional executive ni ade we akwa construction companies dada how omo so achoke omo twen say Mahama be ma omo contract ni bi inti I can see why Mahama will not continue Kufuor do no because on also pay 10% ni biama because he Ekufuado dia no de ma wontu me no ne ade de obeje ne 10% wade awie enchenche de ombeje omaje awie it is okoto asa project so aneche so no Mahama nkrofo munya bi ni ade so omo anso no makache opposition so obi abedidi peche nti no I was so also ye project or design say onya hwe kra was so designing project for no so de man nkrofo no mso nya bi di nti na Africa na ye koye ni man na ye ba yechi mi wa ye kroya nso na ye hu Ibrahim Traore ye wo Burkina na ye boje ne so it's just sad because obia person a party ni ye at the expense of for mine no instead of say ma on mine ni ye no mine ni nyamfa so wo on mine ni ye nti I can understand why President Mahama bu say omunye no on to us on so koye on one to the project because see one of the things Mahama yeah when he came and Mahama won people don't praise him too much but he did well. NHIS although you no start NHIS President Kufuor start NHIS one of the biggest expansion in NHIS nyae it was under Mahama. Scan except that Sylvester Tete na no down no or the scan fan koye infrastructure you see NHIS office when the money should have gone into tonro amount under NHIS but some of the biggest expansion in terms of subscribers are near register under NHIS no Mahama time President Kufuor ye ni de no call ye wie no Mahama ba nya atamezo Mahama ba no sandi become nipa bebre or capture mo under NHIS we don't praise him a lot ye ka President Kufuor de no kwa ne eja ono kwa ne de na si ho and that's one of the reasons why nipa ne ba power po no so person ye ne de no de ni din to so no de kwaje fans into your politics na ba ye fans je o ebia na Sam George mu de ya obia na social media basintale mu de say ye kopa adwuma man crofo wa abroach are you serious what Ghana wo kopa adwuma ma Ghana use for wa abroach re bibia mu de ba beto online fans bibia unwie ade no we are thinking of no de abeto online nka wie project mpo na secure da bi ametware Ibrahim Traore Burkina nipa bae school uniform kromo ye no ho school uniform omo ye no Burkina ho think ye be build a system near structures near economy ni etumi expand no ama obi enya baabi agina ye bi no debi o debi ye the way kwa ha it's just sad the way your system no eno nanke economy ni gina so no ye betumi aboa ne am oman na etumi akọ nanim no ye nye ne saa a system no fapem ni de gina so no nti abehe Mahama 120 days no who said this week they tell me say yewra your friend saying and I will show you the video mo kwakoche your friend saying papa no Gihog boss no diversity because this week ya na ehun say LGBT for mrante mienu bia begina Independence Square am oma betwa picture people started putting pressure on president any NDC government hey Mona muka say LGBT plus more the politics mba be yinkofo na fi ho no LGBT plus ibai not only have you failed to go back to parliament because just before I ever to abana say bill now expire yeah inauguration mo say I expire fine 6 months in here there's no political will to go back to parliament and revive the bill said about be passing into law this was a major campaign policy Trump buy Trump on the buy immigration be pamun krofo and knew the first 30 days you cannot sign executive orders or pamun krofo because it was a major campaign issue into LGBT day 6 months in here abanye president 120 days no kwatwam 120 days na twam atwam na president buy na ye hu LGBT boys too o maba betwa picture or Independence Square calling the bluff of Ghana because so show post no mo ye no to social media no they are saying so much to say Ghana per se pass a law they are calling the bluff of Ghana so mo yes sir it will undermine obia preference or person onya and they did it there mo ye no mfa play no mkoye as 7 years gather momentum pe yakwachi Kofi Duma diversionary tactics because you and I know says Kofi Duma case when go see hwe NDC for free power under President Mahama okay so mo kojeje nkofo cars Kofi Adams menen neti Temago City ombeje ne car hwan ye ji we car under the guys say nkofo na fa abanka but these were cars that were auctioned to them because yes your public servants for na ye wono your clause be or more employment mu say who use car now after 2-3 years I'm buying to me auction the car now. This is what happened in the Kofi Duma case. They know this is what happened in Kofi Duma case. But because of LGBT boys too, Nintino, any case said, yeah, go about any master say, oh, can't say, obey, come back to parliament because they want to buy time. Because see, I am a renegotiation cost. Western countries no mama yesikano so no mo support LGBTQ plus QYY then they don't want to offend them, so they want to buy time. You see, this is the global politics that your boys in baby no assemble. They don't take time to read. It's Bibiani assume when we were making noise all over the place about LGBTQ plus no, it's a global space. Now your maya on to say ametuaria why you watching say the you look for local solutions to local problems. Now the why you want to say they will give you their conditionalities. And major part of conditionalities say LGBT, you know, because the say equal before the law, everybody should have a right to love whoever they want to love. Ghana so the free criminal law, the criminal act, no. A criminal act the woman say oh for between sodomy near crime. Into one nipanisika so LGBT conditionalities. And the other politics. Intimranti and ba no mbetwa picture is exposing NDC for the politics. I was here peko video matem near the bekataso. This is the whole issue. This is the whole issue. Because Kofi Duma de almost offer cars, no a car that was offered to him to buy. Like Sam George Modi no ne ade dema o motama na NDC what power. Mahama one government. These are cars who you saw as chief executive, as minister, as deputy minister. Yama cars me no salon back 4x4 back. I buy top petrol. Who you so car na dada no ma auction na wankasa wato. This is the policy. And this MPP this is what they do. And to one China what I say, who the obedi atem no Jones oh papa yaman cars ni bi so auction. Auction cars no come begu dey say any auction cars na tie whatever. Sa auction cars no kwa uye Uber driver na so kope bi aka say be ma. But NDC o MPP omu nyina ba omu de to me auction cars na de ma omu no matter. Enu bi na Kofi Duma e de ene no. Enti Kofi Duma has not stolen any cars. And some police upon they claiming now they have to prefer the charge. And no wow see udi kwadu bebo obi the law requires you to prove the case. Inti nyasa udi kwadu bebo obi ana ni pa na prove edifo. And you can't go puni them to na opuni na every brodo ni cheese of no. The MPP for candidate to opuni so no opuni no or pepe ekosi saying opuni is home or we brodo ni cheese of ye. Quite do MPP for the two so now they couldn't prove zilch, nada, zero, nothing in court. They couldn't prove it. And then this by or file no prosecute. The 8 years MPP could not prosecute it. And the fact that also Kofi Duma cars when the cars have been auctioned to him. The cars have been auctioned to him. Remember video natural this year. The cars have been auctioned to, but diversion that because Kofi Duma said by so be LGBT as America. That was the whole purpose. The whole purpose is say enjoy LGBT as America. Ni Kofi Duma say no so. It's Mahama 120 days. The question is Mahama 120 days. What's the thing? Arrest Nkoaa na. Obi si Mahama ako arrest baby. Mahama back, but you see, but Mahama is not deviating from Adio Castle Bayeno or opposition or campaign. It was one of the main issues of Mba Mechenko for and no more channel. But oh, Chinipa making sure of evidence. And yes, I bet to say COVID EFS one would any be opunimu the enemy. Ube chia chiengosiaga. Ube chia chiengosiaga. And to watch and making sure say evidence. Because it is you see ya. And I'm not telling my bar not sitting China say yo yeah de. Omo ayechu omo wuntu mi o Kofi Duma enkosiaga. I'm telling you. Enkosiaga. Now you say sika on the prosecution. Me one I'm not telling my bar go on mo munya aduma nyesika we can use it to do one or two things. Who need evidence? Why are you going to court? Mami mo video no mo kwachi Kofi Duma no. Now, when Hana police for catches the police was 3 cars now have been retrieved from former Georg boss. He's in our custody and is assisting with investigation. The cars are not stolen cars. Me see, it's up to the police to prove that the cars are stolen. Yeah, but if they can prove it. And to say that's ya bra ma okra so me yeah prove ma uncle prove it. So Kofi Duma so the receipt but said the cars were auctioned to him. Cars ni me toya ho ni ebe hu. Udi ka wo court na undi be mo. Udi kan wo court na undi bem. Nti ya obibi a friend due process. Due process must work. Nti just a chi nipa na due na the law no wa constitution na procedure. A udi obi uchi obi a what's odi ne fam. Open nipa na sem on pen na sem o. Or your opponent or your opponent, the due process must work. Due process must work. Now due process na work here open ya fe dey no MPP for na hu say massa. Because you must prove the case. Yes, I'll call court catch a judge and my lord. As soon as we are car. Near mambo video ni chem.
Making a call because we saw a more commander. Oh no, we have a warrant. This is the warrant. You can go to and
to be fair, that's just get if one of Moko if you they were very respectful. And the omo yade. Utu say only the bush for net to covid man at no. And they did it one man ye gidi omo call no money kasa ye ye ba. Inti ye pese no koni ade. I mean, they were very respectful. O share because coffee man kasa wanyini. We o ko ni gidi na se ni BP ba na team or the kwa na just say we ato so. Wanyini ne ho so mfa no. But look at how they did it.
Okay, let's check the one time. That's all. So I don't make it gentle and peaceful. Or we go there as we go away. So we choose. I will say there is stealing. But he's dead telling us who has our second one. It's not intentional. Sir, please go to the money maker. Sir, please go to money maker. I call RCC, National Security Office. Okay. Watch out, go to. Let me be grand. All this office.
Yeah.
No, we want you to check this one first. Go through. If you really change this problem, we are okay.
I don't know. They were very professional. They were decent. At least I want to go any giddy. Say after this video way, and I'm going to confuse you giddy there, and I don't know. But as far as this video shows, no, and it's a year no be send and will be sending their mommy. As far as this video is concerned, oh man, giddy. Very respectful. Na national security for the corner. And they were trying to to negotiate with him. Say, must you take him? Say, what I say? It's the due process. Well, now, police wanna get him. Say due process must work. He will sue you. He will sue you. Mami boni bio.
We saw a more commander. Oh no, we have a warrant. This is the warrant. You can go to and okay, let's check the warrant time. That's all. So I don't make it gentle and peaceful. Or we go there as we go away. So we choose. I will say there is stealing. But he's dead telling us who has our second one. It's not intentional. Sir, please go to the money maker. Sir, please go to money maker. I call RCC, National Security Office. Okay. Watch out, go to. Let me be grand. All this office.
It's here coffee Jumano. No, they are taking him through the process. Some person na cultural ni statement ni identity. The police was 3 cars were he retrieved from his house. And on was emotion and if the cars are indeed stolen. Because I mean, if you look at letters, part of, for instance, Kofi Juma appointment letter, and I've got part of it here. I'm here because part of it say a ban of critical. I'm here. Public Services Commission. Public Services Commission, for in fact, do I have the for? See, managing director shall be permitted to purchase the official vehicles on completion of the service, provided that the vehicles should not be less than 2 years, and the vehicles will be valued by the State Transport Company (STC), and the managing director will be required to pay 55% of the stated value, and performance-related bonuses will be agreed on by the board separately. This is a letter. Appointment letter ni say we are Juma cars now we use now with the adwuma no okona se car na nyini beyond 2 years managing director you are entitled to buy the car benya wo managing director na obekire car ne bo ye de beko state housing STC na STC for value omo value no say car na 1 cedi 2 cedi na oma auction na wo no wato enti if Kofi Dwuma has bought a vehicle where is the steal where is the stealing where is the stealing and it's up to them. Go and prove all these cases in court. It's not up to you. So, this one of the letters signed by a Honorable Minister for Trade and Trade and Interior and only Ministry in a Gihok Nation, signed by the Secretary of Public Services Commission. To me, na baby. Now when you one kasa opese we so there are rules and regulations, terms and conditions, and police they are very much aware. So we can work quarter. Now, Ghana first, if you why not allow Kofi Dwuma to go through the process? That's the process. And the fact that Kofi Dwuma is going through the process doesn't mean that we can't talk about it. That's our job to talk about it. What I say? The process is ongoing, but we can question the process. We can question the process. Any other places, no? We can question the process. The process needs a papa na toka no. He has a receipt to show that it was valued. And this letter was signed by the Public Services Commission. And that Public Services Commission now a friend saying ministry give Public Services Commission. Into your foul as a public officer. That's up to you. By your politics now, a dawson. The politics of tit-for-tat. You do me, I do you. MPP 40 NDC 20 or almost chibi. Now you have to say you'll be able to say how long and for how long can we do that? And I make us say teachers is saying and I am more class so you might see who we are, you bet auction car mom. This is the bigger conversation. Oh yeah, branch, oh yeah, baba. Well, this is what we should be focused on. Doctors is saying that's is saying and the eka say would you juma car na the amount now do juma buying a better petrol, a buying a fitting work. Maintenance I did na we are can't 2 years about auction. We don't get it, but normally for political appointees, I can see any chief directors near the say we should get to a point where the edema politicians, no ordinary doctors, ordinary nurses, ordinary teachers, unfortunately, Ghana for the name say ba. Yeah, we are so blinded by your political interest, the politicians that meanwhile, one would be a chena who do atemno. Oh, papa cry teaching work 30 years on ye biseyo. And how papa ye teacher Juma 30 years or co pension, the pension is 20,000 Ghana cedis. And cast near the mom because you see, public services for any ministers. Almost quite 2 years CBI about auction a cast amano. Obey we know cast bear 10. Nina a cast a auction amano. Cast na a cotoba. Meanwhile, these are cast. A buying crown brand new. A buying a year maintenance. Most of the maintenance don't go to Toyota and other places. The cars are good, but 2 years a penny auction car the amount. Now Otia who defend no, who politician who defend no, and that's how they all make They all make the money. It's up to the procedure. The onus is the person who is making the allegations. A criminal procedure, no. Sana rules it will say a person is innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Sana your law nika. And it's also Kofi Dwuma Kowiaka. It's up to you to prove stealing. In stealing, no Ghana, so your law also they're very clear in stealing. Say stealing, work of fact. Say Adiano is in the name of Gehok. And Kofi Dwuma Kofa. And even say even if it's onuni dimu, any the man as official vehicle, cry once I will free hono, who movie car no 1 inch cry is stealing. Because in Ghana alone, your definition of stealing, no appropriation can home. Who movie at the end from point A to point B, a stealing. Because once I will intend to send the away depriving panel, this is what we are going to have. It's all a mess up. We should focus on near man. And what impact a boy ranty and maba one and deeper baby on faso than Kakrebi at the Beji fans just because of LGBT activity and Kochi Kofi Dwuma and fans. This is the politics behind it. Kofi Dwuma, why now? I don't know actually want to be no man. Why now? There's politics behind it. It's up to the police. Mon prove case if you have evidence of the stealing. Some pass where we are. mum prove case ni nyina na nyina ye hwɛ sɛ ne ansɛm no ɛteɛ jaso nie okay 101.7 FM so ɛne ye wo no yeni production team no Meta Kojo Hansen David and a DOP adi bedi akon and ye ne professor Enokope country and Elikem Kingsley Morte ye ne omu nyina ba we are all assessing President Mahama 120 days no we look at Galamsey utum say anabisu or ye adwuma no a enka was minister ne ye minister for land and natural resources unless you want to be ashamed of yourself and yes I de anabisu ye no nka was because anabisu nka we nya na yi minerals development fund cheche nka wadwuma ho enka anabisu adwuma ho but you can see that minister no adwuma re nko ye nti na anabisu agi se adwuma na fa no and look at obabesi on no nam kwaye mu na ochi nkom enkanya na adwuma no no because I know some nkofo kan say akoda ne fancy je say ye the camera kwanya chichi nkofo ene party for anabisu so obi enim say party for na ye Galamsey dada and it's not different because NDC ankasa ka che say mo de mo ba mbema nkofo aye so who got to say party chairman be here bia you said obema nkofo aye. But the question is deeper no good alliances ana. What gas obeje egumo? Ubi abe didi peche. Eti minister nankasa for land and natural resources. Who minister no? Who minister nankasa? Who minister no? You must bow your head in shame. And I guess you na expose you. Uko say blue water hwan. Won dey anabiso obabesi onam kwayem. Who dey say show cry no ye cry nam kwayem she's doing something. Say show. Who minister now? Waje wabo captain's ban. Wada. What kwaji a friend blue water Teletubbies Major Mahama Krako denchira cry go for kochino bono. What kwaji Teletubbies boys here on show mu blue water one say or mu be blue water. Are we kidding? Are we playing? Are we joking? Blue water gas. Hanabisu no what yesi kwaye muno. At least she's showing something. Oh, Bearman, what the num tea office. 80 minister, I'm a boy. Do something. Do something. Even if she's doing it for the camera cry, she's doing something. Who minister now what direct responsibility no? Who blue water gate say blue water gas now kotimaye. Blue water gas and now kotimaye. Show us the whole year. Show us. Show us the whole year to solve the problem because we need solution. We voted for solution. We voted for reset. Now minister no about cutting by now wait for 7 out the office. Now oba besia and abisu mon nam kwaye mu. You minister no numti. If you don't come and show us what you are doing, who minister if you don't show us what you are doing, amabwa. Abisu is exposing you. She's exposing you. Because at least onam kwaye ni mu no. Enye na adwuma de and I agree with the Nkoaa bebre kan so I say or the J fans now you kwaye mu amonam na camera see so because she also must show that oye bibi but mineral development fund enka chichinka ho but now that the minister no num tea no she's forced to do the minister's work. We next time be a President Mahama also a reshuffle no ya de hanabisu beba as lands and natural resource minister na the minister anako mefo and ya copy baby for from what na because I mean you have to show us. Say you are ready to work. Else, at least she's doing something. At least she's doing something. It's a grant herself for the cameras. Grant herself for the cameras. It's a mabu and pato. Sorry, Gina. Let us see that you have the vim. You have the balls. The president must have believed in you. So bet me a jumano. Into the show us that you can do something. Akwati blue water gas I know the blue water gas they na amabo when you kukudura she coat you are going to inspect the blue water gas now don't say do it. Anabisu is in the kwayemu. She knows says Galamsey for what you any but she is in the kwayemu. She's trying. It's not her job. And also they do home fans. But that is your job. And the minister I'm sorry and feel well conditioned then man TNT town. No one who say you are indeed arresting the people, or you are pushing the Galamsey task force to work, and you are giving us a better and further particulars to show that this is the results of a Jumanoa who minister and who chase those crazy boys out of town. Who nankasa ya the beba also reset and also foul minister and first. And say it's Galamsey for who minister and also mini reset the foul. I mean, what is this? What is this? And I Hanabiso exposing ministry, you know. It's very careful. Lovely, see, Amabuadie, he has failed and needs to be sacked. Well, I don't think sack is the solution. Mahama should not sack him, but also on one kata, who Hanabisu de, also no, also original, no, yeah, or fire wo. Lovely, see, na ministry no crowd, we're managing the year put there. Na Zigma so say, no doubt, Hanabisu is doing a good job. Well, at least she's doing something. Me say, oh, dear, so young for fans cry, she's doing something. It's my main prof one of prof. Prof is an expert in leadership. Leadership there. That prof doesn't joke. In terms of Mahama 120 days, no, has he given us the reset leadership? Na yes, a penana. And answer or my leadership. Prof ye dean, academic city university, our chadi or honomo chadi or abruchin or chadi or Ghana. So prof, good evening, akwa baba jasu you made so.
Good evening, if you're next time.
Good. I do my I mean, you say, and then I'm going project baby. I'm going to background assessment. No, one go different place.
And so bad then for God.
Good one day. Eli Kembara be joining very soon. But yes, President Mahama 120 days. But before that, Hanabisu Mudi, is that a show of good leadership? And I'm confessing settings. That's what they fans. Compared to the minister who is in the office, no, is this something that you think that servant leadership more expert? What she's doing, is that a show of good leadership?
If you made us what your phone, you know, I heard for we are chef and then,
Prof. Ben o Mike no home mamia.
Homa.
What's the voice in way tree?
I feel Otimenka. Otimenka.
There still a way tree. I know the way you bet me, I couldn't bet me a betcha, and maybe at a camera no mum now the beba. Ebe benwa.
And your mammy from Bremen, you know what? Okay.
Good. God is here, idea so that your hand can be free. Yes, I'll be break after maybe a couple of minutes. No bones and why first. And I'll be any say yeah.
Okay,
okay, very well. Yeah, and the kakra. Oh, brother, we'll just take a break.
Fancy has a name. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cutting out.
Yo, and your mammy, yeah.
Into the baby that first so na me kind of for messages maybe your friend saying Jeffrey say ready to note down whatever prof says. Okay, prof, and for starting cry ready to note down what you are going to say that and David Lucky Jackson say what if the I'll say what is the insult for? Okay, a bit more behind on moody at them, don't mind them unless you are a uncouth. I mean, a debater, a debate ideas, exchange ideas, and yeah, obi already attembia IQ ni low. IQ ni low. Unye di atempe no wa expose who say IQ ni very very low. David is your share from Baltimore. David, thank you for watching us from Baltimore. Why? Knowledge is golden. Or say from the US, no difference. Please, Hannah is just scratching the surface. President Mahama must give a state of emergency. Without a state of emergency, no. Galamsey asemi to me. It's true, I agree. Because any Professor Jampo no can say any state of emergency. So the Galamsey situation has not changed. It hasn't improved. Say improve it there, and we can say that may any state of emergency. But say improve it there, then we may need the state of emergency, or perhaps maybe first, no state of emergency, and here we just need something to show that Juma to solve the problem. Say what you say. I could see say if you are good morning from Sydney, Australia, you or see Kofi and you could to Mita Kando, communication minister. They all need to be shuffled sooner or later. France, no social media ministers. So social media ministers. Oh, yes, sir. In 2 years of Mahama, but it will expose you. Me, many politics is too well, and I understand the status, but oh, yes, social media and fancy baby 2 years because see right now, no government is in the honeymoon phase. Everybody likes what government is doing. Situation is flipping. It would even now fanboy, any baby. When it catches up with you, the same social media for anybody with them, and you'll be found wanting. Into unya ye mistake yes what buy you make it a social media buyer if you haven't learned anything you must learn something from MPP for how they went into opposition. Yo Clifford Cheba for those insulting should go to other platforms in Eguma Ampa wow be at them other platforms I had the intellectual discourse why into we don't do that here. No, we don't do intellectual discourse. Even if we have one person watching and one person intellectual discourse, you contribute to Mother Ghana building. We like that. saying a baby baby near dear attempts. What I mean, one attempt, what good would that do, really? What your free see a dear attempt me basic neck? Dear I, hey, and yes, Frankie, who say, oh, dear, and yet, Vim lady or Tianum, Vim lady in JS Gasha, Vim lady on J government bungalow, Vim lady in JS a first a cast the AB, Vim lady in Yehe, a intellectual discourse, and a and a Vim lady who as a host is contributing her part to it. Oh, hosting penny 40 professor and Okopo contribute to share the ideas. If you make the messenger Vim lady the subject, now dinner tema, what good would that do? And when I was someone who said IQ no, I would cast any yellow. Because Vim lady on the field, on your government appointee on your pay. I buy young for GG position. Vim lady NDC MPP on G position be a PR or G bida. If you make Vim lady the target, my foolish woman, my member number yen hypocrite, what have you achieved? Because me say we are makoda. It's my job na me. Into more ministers na make us say 2 years be auction cars the ba omo. Cars so aban na to car na aban na maintain ni bodyguard aban na tuanika ni maid aban na tuanika entertainment allowance ye tuama no clothing allowance ye tuama no bed allowance ye tuama no atopo allowance ye tuama no so wo sign minister no so be Vim lady atema wo abusa ho so wa kiu no we okay ana minister na ye man we nyina ye wi a o san kwa na man esgasha 4 years bia calculate esgasha man minister no wo sign ho. You are not even able to question the person. Say, Sika we nyina edema has the person even done anything? Why ye bibi abeche say in abraboni improve na? No, you are not doing that. Na say what sign nipa no be ye Vim lady a. O IQ no ewe he. Okay. Nti chale it's just sad. It's just sad. Say o mine no ye youth na ye na future leaders no. Me dey menka ho mpo me metwem 40. Menka ho. Youth no mo amu ye future leaders no. Mon dream me baby am way me woo and I'm okay. Come my age over 20 years. Me straight to cry me sure say me kwakoji because I don't need it. So into one show abrabo year. Wo na wo ka ho no wo ye den. Youth no mo disappoint ye papa. Accompany a drone or can say I don't understand why recently everything has turned into shouting and insult. When you put out your view, cry also be do at why? Like a democracy as a channel no. So be an channel adwene. Na de adani obi channel adwame ye no. Obi channel adwame ye no. Time be na eduru ho. Time be na eduru ho. And akompoka say ministers you have to resort them. No. Minister, you have to question the person. Anybody be a minister na. Your money S gasha, your man bungalow, your man 2 cars, I buy maintaining with him. The reason why I am a minister, I am a buying person more back or more. No, because you man on to me yet. Tabai see, my yam be beer here, clothing allowance, entertainment allowance, bibia, maid, driver, yamau bibia. Na ye jumana sumo mino. Tini pana ya, even minister, no only right to go in at them. And so, Mudia Maba say, ye copy when you could do at them. And you are losing. Kona Mikasa me ameti udi ma attempt to thy kingdom come. My yemejuma. Ghana mi so my yemejuma from my chico. Come to me straight name tier 2 pension. Minya sure say me no, I'm okay. Into wona udi mateme no one no be chere no. Abra wo say wo yare sesi ane edu kokole bo hwa bed kra wunya bi. Well, Prof, I remember our hobby. Prof, I've heard the ABS when him say paper. I think there's a paper on top of camera no.
Oh, okay.
Good. I've heard the youth no. So we future leaders are. It must start reflecting in your life. So mo na mo be save you or mine no. Because ministers we or mo minister forever. How are you preparing yourself to be do so you fit into the position now so abesum Ghana mine and even do better for Ghana. Ibrahim Traore, what is saying? Look at what he's doing for Burkina Faso. Now they media tem. Look at Ibrahim Traore. Or Shasian also did you start gaining knowledge to build yourself. Prof, Mama, good evening, you.
Evening, Lefia. I'm saying
good. So who are there? Fantastic. Adam, yes, you're here. Prof, I mean, Musa, and I be Sudan and I mean, Musa say, oh, share. Send on what TSC anymore. Is that a show of leadership? Said, oh, yeah, leadership, who expertise.
If you am that say, yes, you want so many nipa. na se wo adwuma mu na wo boss wo sa wo bre o ye adwuma bebre na wo kọ na obisa wo boss say how can I help her wonye bone enti da bia wo boss ye adwuma na wo bekọ na ka se wo adwuma wo ye ma wo se adwuma do so nti se no as a why stress wo adwuma no do so nti e den na me nso metimi aye de aboa ma honim no wonye bone esan say wo boss no bepo wasem Osha NDC buyer the ministers a year. In fact, from over 123 to less than 60 now. And to be Nkoaa be or Jumano a yetting. In him say Galamsey a dear Nanado a day on one Kasani presidency troso. Says one Sovo Galamsey or ready to lose his presidency. He couldn't solve it. Now, Sawosha ranting in Maba way. Senya omo etu amena ne senya omo gina nsuo mu sa aboa bi wo mu wo mu senya nyankyere wo mu sa eden da wo mu no mu gina mu a because nsuo no to a ebi kura to mu wu Galamsey am binom na eden ti busa se eden ti no mo se still a omo Galamsey no esan se adwuma alternative adwuma eni ho na no na me ka se mbi wo TV3 e wo Trump so obesisa obema Africans for obe ma yan yentimi ma abrochire because Ghana
can travel ban no
Ghana ka ho and this wo hwe 54 countries war Africa a year 2026 and na e wallet so na Ghana ka ho na niti atwamo ani say
yes as say omo the Ghana ka ho because first list by na Ghana ka ho
Ghana ka ho
wow
and niti atwamo ani say yes your students na omo eba bisua de no omo mafie omo wie school na omo aka ho enti omo nyina overstay omo visa as omo bafie na percentage na about 23% omo emba enti wuyi nipa num bia na baako emma and na yetimete so eba 15% a ene de omo be year free travel ban mu enti okugyeto no edi ho dwuma ni America kosi ni say Asia for Japan ni anase China ni best school America da obewie na no the next flight awo hɔ a say yan yama ne scholarship de na kɔde a ye de ne ba na nimdi okusua o de abeboa ne ma na o de ye adwuma no all be ye adwuma no wɔ hia oba be ye enti ne waka so bepo obi aware no so bepe dan yo na fe waka hɔ enti nkrofo bebra o man ni sika ehiafo sika e de abɔ mo ho ka ye no de yan ne kɔbɔ obosia de kɔ yi.
Hello, Prof. Well, Prof, you know, article, Prof say, do many ho, intina some of these things, contact Prof BM. Ghana first, I'm happy say Prof wa no explaining leadership issues near there, to speak the truth rather than those omo jandam no. Prof is one of the few brains they speak truth to power or say or respect no. Stephen Tufo no say and then the ne big brother celebrating a birthday friend Nana Tufo of Amsterdam Holland. Nti Nana Tufo ye say nyankopon hia why na koso na koso na ye adwuma no ko wanim said the opese wo ye ni bia so Francis say your friend say say sister if you understand say please we should understand that we are in a social media generation so we can't hide things. Well, social media generation in just the atemo. Social media generation just a BB. People are using the social media to do massive things. Who call social media? They are Ghana boys to be on money. I'm sure abandon project and ya abandon into a kobush in a way you abandon no. That is a very good thing. Now they also do the anybody at them. Oh, Koso. Me I will encourage you because you at them because you will just give yourself BP or probably BB nebeyo. But yeah, and the OD at them it won't change anything. So what I say, Kofi we so say Galamsey no is even going more. Ewo baby to say achim osi baby to say achim abomosu bonsu kukubi. Ntiani anabisu nkofo ama fill out so all these areas or say koso papa Galamsey ni bi koso I was say munkohwe na moye ho adwuma because seriously and one say obey adwuma said the sene fata David say I hope Anabisu is going to give us the results but not only say camera nkoa or the betray but on my results so nkyere enka ho Ezo and I see doing a good job if ya Ezo yeah that's a baby say when they joining and also chire views and a prof can leadership no ye will be susu do be susu say we ni leadership be effective and any leadership no enye effective what I say ha it why leadership be effective no it will show in a juma na wo ye say the leadership is effective. Prof Nkoaa say no monte sound no but mami who say now if you can hear the sound I'm say prof there na he's trying to fix the machine. Victor say if you are pleased so you don't see anything good in the government but arrest Nkoaa. Oh, we have said a lot of the good thing President Mahama yeah or the buy until I don't want to be ana want to be ana. So headline there my headline that's why you must read beyond the headlines. Well, this is not a bloggers in Yamuno. You must make sure say you are reading beyond the headlines. Yes, I'm home so what I say, read beyond the headlines. I consider to say if your chiefs and my constituency are fighting over who will get paid from the Galamsey, go to a friend Achimasium, Triapiase Bunsu Kukubi, Abomosuni Adena Kore. I dear no can say I have funny be cried, you want Jim. I just said, you pennies and wine the Benisika Kessia, Ewo a Galamsey anymore. Inti enone asemno inti mbacho mami hu se mote audio no I think a lot of people are saying say monte audio no was senka audio no mutumite inti I don't know say hanum say in free perhaps be no check your device no because maybe it can be from a device instead because I hand the audio is okay pa inti mami yanto so our prof is trying to get a elike mote so will join us very soon na watch or no so na dwene e won sem no ho ma me go back to Kofi Juma video no I'm saying say Kofi Juma there na I'm saying say a diversionary tactics. We'll come back to the LGBT case. Why 6 months in the President Mahama kind of points LGBT was one of the things or cast or ba obedi won Juma but 6 months in ye hu LGBT no hu adwuma bia if it's going back to parliament okay the bill is going back to parliament but as we speak bill no is not going back to parliament. Bill no old one almost say I expired. Until now we have to start the process all over again to send the bill to parliament. Me want back on ye. But then the questions are then MPP for so pass a bill no. All these technicalities are not more they and a bill no and by how officially it was all technicalities. Obvious row abrofono. Obvious row abrofono. Until Harry, but thank you, sir. Also Timenka. Thank you so much. I'm surprised job creation has been a problem for most of our leaders. Most of our leaders were travel experience, but job creation, even though it's difficult to start, it's very easy to create job per my experience. Well, not that easy, sir. If you take a third world country like Ghana, and shada easy, sir. Until my member sir, because that's where in the whole okay, Debbie, you come back to Kofi Juma video no because Kofi Juma was saying say on the omo first say what talk casting so these are the things that omo called when he was trying to prove and that's my argument say my conspiracy argument is at the end of diversionary tactics. Let's go back again.
Go while you're making your calls because we saw our mom coming back. Oh no, we have a warrant. This is the warrant. You can go through. And okay, let's check the warrant. That's all. So I don't make it gentle and peaceful. Or we go there as we go away. So we choose. I will say there is stealing. No, but he's dead telling us to come. Who has our second? It's not intentional. Sir, please go to Sir, please go to the RCC. National Security Office. Okay. Watch out, go to. Let me be grand. I was supposed to say, no, we're going to check this one first. Go through. Okay. If you really change this problem, we are okay. So we are okay. Go while you're making your calls because we saw our mom coming back. Oh no, we have a warrant. This is a warrant. You can go to and okay. Check the warrant. That's all. So I don't make it gentle and peaceful, or we go there as we go away. So we choose.
I will say there is still
But he's dead telling us who has our second.
This is Kofi Juma. They arrest no any said the seminal course no sana here and Prof Yinaba. So Prof, we are coming back to you now here to us. So whether this is a leadership that is solid near there. Ezo we say won't say sound no Ezo check your device, and I think that this is your device that is playing tricks on you. Joseph don't say congratulations to Hannah Bissiw because Oba Besia, she has shown say the member no crying to me, you know. She's doing it. She's doing a marvelous job as that. Koku Poku no say from Rotterdam. Or say Obefia tomorrow. My birthday you Koku yes Nyankopon shake say my wife. Zigma say I Penifon they bloated the monument. And Omoji bloated the monument. Any monument they are taking it. And you can't blame them. Omo buy any higher constitution that though. By any higher constitution that until Penny you cannot blame them for the kind of a monument now or more enjoying. So what you say, you cannot blame them for. You can't blame them for what they are going through. It is what it is. It's just the system, no. And I catch almost so many and to bet me. We prof before Prof be joining and who bet me I join out to watch about it. The link is there. You can join us, share your views on it. Whether of course Hannah Bissiw don't know and it's genuine. I think at least so even if she's doing it for the camera, she has shown that effort. 1 foot forward is better than so better cry. As against the minister on the war office, air conditioning, you know. So Hannah Bissiw, at least she has shown that she's there on the ground. Nana ya Shadmos. Or see if ya Galamsey ne de. Okay, Nana, let me see. Nana yeah, I'll see Galamsey ni de. Well, Nana, I think me nyawe ini I'm looking for your comment again, Nana. Okay, so Prof, but yeah, will come here and I will come back to you so that we can share your views on this issue. No, na who said yes, no, but I mean understand the mention Hannah Bissiw video no. Na knowledge is golden. I say from USA or Arizona State. We must say I can hear you into microphone and yeah, omo na omo de na you know na ombeka say omo issue until wo de na dey okay. Thank you very much. Knowledge is golden. Okay, Prof. Where you na yeah? Did I me busa ba Hannah Bissiw specifically?
Yes.
The effort that she's showing on Nkoaa. And we know how Galamsey has been a problem. You were trying to look at the long term, no. But before long term, no. What Hannah Bissiw ankasa yo Nkoaa no? What do you think about her leadership, no?
It is very commendable. Leadership here, dear, who you should initiative na ye. Na the good results ba. Sabi nyabako for na brewa. And Hannah Bissiw national women organizer for NDC. Na onim senia Galamsey enso senia ekọ enti se wo ba bia na ye branch kra anase constituency women organizer na who se Galamsey ekọ you have to act in the name of party na war power no because who can who be yi a yema wo anye yesu a yema wo enti megitum senia Hannah Bissiw ye ne kwan so ano no ne ana ha me kakra ni se police officer ana esen go protect maame no because information nya ni se maame no at a point, you know how to disguise himself. Now, Uncle for public transport, send a bear, who ne car, no more no. And if you know money, IGP, I can't watch them. Say, as I said, police officer, no ladies, I don't know. I want more Hannah Bissiw Hobana, as I said, your friend and your question. And to my minute, yeah, why, yeah, Juma, it's on say, near money be bro, who idea obeying any, but obey soon, I didn't cause you, yeah, or become watch them. And then another car say, be a citizen, not a spectator. And the Hannah Bissiw, I a citizen. When who say Galamsey ne koso baby no, and ya de papa, and a wabua, and na osovo. Now we send ya koso abomosu ene twapi ase ne send yankofo kano a abomosu no twapi ase nyina Eastern region yo. Na Eastern region ya wo problem. Ye ka Galamsey na manfo fi se bi yankofo bi yego akirachiri da bi omo animu heye se wo kokko no kra na oduru lorry kwan wo kromu a wo se nkrofo bi ye Galamsey e wo lorry kwan no ho nso ne da kono wo krom na nkrofo ye Galamsey. Enti ni America ni say aban we ye ni obetimi bia na watwa so enkoye 6 months ya ni betimi dia solve Galamsey isanse aban na etwam no e di 8 years entimi asolve. It means adwuma wo ho. Enti ase atoto niema eyie se ne be ya yebenya foundation no right na se ye move with force a na yetinye ye free ho. Ni America biem se youth na wo ho a omuni adwuma ye no enkrofo se say excavators ye chiche machines yagije yadi ni nyina no say ye track o motor cars ni nyina excavators ni because obi na ono ye Galamsey no ni sika de koto sa excavators yi timpanifo na hyase no na se target wo mo because omo na ema ye nsuo sei omo no ma nya nsuo ayenom say ukoto nsuo 15 ml na belakwa ene ni aka na 36 Ghana cedis ebi 35 na se ebe kakra ni yenya nsuo because ya say yensuo nyina ni yekoya na se ye bae enti mesre se we enye NDC asem nyina Ghana for yasem esan se aban foforo ntimi so obo ya nka ban we nsu beto aso aya de foforo aban foforo dada na etwa mu na ntimi aso obo nti na akoye se NDC so obo this issue na issue we no ye solve no from different angles because and now ko hakopamo ma o chana no mko ba bi foforo enkrofo no so omo invest as quarter excavators ni machines a omo wo omo concessions land omo ko enti ahemfo no bi hyase assembly members bi hyase panifo wo kron bi hyase MCs bi hyase MPs bi hyase politician akase bi hyase na mo hini bia ni wo Ghana obi beba wo krom so betu Galamsey ya wonim ho hwe enti esanse ye nyina ye nim ho hwe nti na sebe omo nyansa manfo no mo ye dipa no mo tu aye hunti no ekwan enya wo ma ye nyina Ghana fo se ye bebom na yasom bonsom ye se oni nipa ni ye nyi sa Galamsey ne mfiri wo esanse ye nsuo na ese ye no nsuo no to a ekogu nsuo a ye tene ama ye di ye aduane di ni nyina no ye polluted me ne wo ka sei unim se Densu river free Eastern region Kofa Greater Accra cause some of the other regions is the most polluted. Enti Densu River no so polluted say ye treating it 3 times and send ye to mikra by a pipe mama yet me abudi and wediane. Wow. Enti say ye nsuo nyina say ye pe go chain ana ye pesika ukute sika no na woni nsuo abenuma acha no na nenum no wawu. Enti mesre say sika na ye pene de obi nka say obi mpe sika ma ye mpe no kwampa so ye mpe sika kwampa so esan say Galamsey say ye tu suo ni ye say no wonim say wo ba brocha maka say we many times ye mfa ye say nka nsuo ye mfa ye say enka dua bia enua wo mfikyire kura e bebu ato ho gye se ya ba be ye frum untimi emfa say bia de san say nya wo dia ena nsuo bia nso ye ayisi blue ye mfa ye say nka nsuo ena mo anso ye nku omo they are the flora and the fauna. Sanya mamienu we ni wa ye ni life.
Okay, very well.
Enti mama yen hwe sanya mani ye mama yen nya na say aban asem. I am expecting say even the minority in parliament, and so bebu aban ye wo so say mama yen nyina yen kamom. So na yamwa na bibi ti say yen nyina yen tu
Of course, say I did also from opposition now the politics endorse. Tell what I buy more than NDC so. Obi because I don't know more opposition so ma more aban fight Galamsey no.
Ya make an say
No more aban so antie sa time no.
Enye obia na opemwa anaso oboa na okasa mepemwa ma ye obi papa bi a ne nsa aha ya kuki ama apeja ya de ne ko John Hoskin ama sana wolukomi anti afi bia no ye koyi ni moja nyina afiri mu ye de moja foforo hye ne mu na okukuru ade na ha me na me koso mu se omma me kukuru ma no ne bufu ye oka kire me se do I think so we disable ana so papa ye na me pese me yema no because me hu se ni age ni na de no kukuru no obre enti nye obi a na opemwa obi wo ha we leader oka and make me solve a problem.
Yeah, but Prof, and people say, I say, yeah, double standards when civil society groups, other people, MPP for one almost here declare state of emergency. NDC by a conversation and movie from state of emergency to something else. Apart from Hanabisu, there are ye. Some of the things are, for instance, ministry, Nankasaya to say blue water gas. And not Obia giving NDC for one crack, baby crack, and no probable solution. Indeed, because it's our go position for no more. NDC is one, it was very divisive.
And your position for Nkoaa, me say, assembly members, a handful. Atina nanano machina konwa. Eya obi a woti oman mu no de. Ye tu Galamsey wo area wo hu. Enti se wo hu a enyiwani because eya wo se enkan. Na se wo bi so na mpanifo se wo bi so na wo se wo bi so a ifini so a de baba wo so. Na se na wo nom no enye eno na yesi ye man kwala ye wo no ebi nsa ye nsia ebi aso ni ho. Eye Galamsey no ene mercury na omodi nsu na ese ye nsuo. Nso na ese ni nyina kogupum. Ekogupum nso amwa nso bi num a omosusu bewu. Yesu ye perfect. Enti we are walking on the slippery slope. Enti na make us a Ghana for moma ye nyina ye mwa. Media obi ani me stand that I'm a leader. Na me hwen say nyina e beka bom nya ye omani ye because President Mahama by na some kind say ono de na ban de uti me criticize no. You see, so there's a difference. Say ukasana and then me say serious of for what can say omum one you know serious ni bi can say serious ni bi can say Kofi Asare can say education watch or say and some of kan ye nyina na MPP fo ebu enu egu omasum and that am from some random mekasa because they talked omo kasa ya say yenye omunyiminye because Galamsey no so man no but ye nyina so ye nim say politicians no mo shasia no they were not ready to stop it. Akonta mines near in a president Beka said there's no mining activity in Akonta mines. Yantisa went to me Beka say the Onye Galamsey. Nasa Onye Galamsey dia the difference between legal and illegal license. Yes, I know okay. The difference between legal and
I think illegal. No, won't you mean the Okuta license?
Yeah, but I see the difference between legal and illegal and it's Okuta license. Okuta license out to me too. Yo, baby, but yes, I net here.
Debbie.
That concession, baby, as I said, your mom said, I have no license to do, and I would me too. And
I think I want to make I see he's mining the concession. I the man.
And now he's
so far, I'll be able to me prove something. Nobody has been able to prove say he was mining outside his concession.
So now he's a suspect, and you know law. So be a suspect, and not just a wire idea. Yabeka, you could feed you man once me. Or be a suspect, and not just a wire idea. Yes, suspicious. So, and Timra Kramono, your friend Pacrono, your friend na, Niatotuna no, na pay a court there, your evidence. Say you show no evidence, be anywhere. Your bay investigation, no, your sign your further investigation. You read, not see who's evidence in your crack, near charge, no. Yes, sir. You're charging you near Shirasimuna say, a Tomabra, your money bill. Yes, a Quanabra, Nina near Rasimum. Ye are, no, would differ, near Jelu, and I say I'm final. Only fire so called son and ranish them a boy. I don't know your man as a shembra. The embassy I didn't run a bayajuma. And she said, be a bar, no beer called public square, no across social media, no abekasa because of a public sympathy. But the embassy I didn't run a bayajuma, and then you hire home a young for parliament 276 people. Someone couldn't call him running and find your day. Because Menoka say, your constitution needs to say, Obi our public service. Obi our water company and so. And I say electricity, and I say we are health worker. Won't mean cost strike. That is what the constitution because as a vital service, only where people cannot survive. Among cost strike, they go. But the constitution and brand say you can't. And tell any one brand near to me and find your juma because we are.
And some constitution says they need to turn it below minimum wage, but baby, so almost salary is here below minimum wage. Until you can breach, and many breaching almost workers into breaching.
President Nkoaa can say we pretend to be paying and they also pretend to be working. Yes, President Nkoaa can. And if you are Nkoaa ye, it's not say make us a police in no so when you are year. Once you work with Napa and Wajim, because the country answer no a take home pay. Now take home pay no didn't value rufia or pay BBS or some managed net rufia. Yes, I here.
Okay.
And
But very well, Prof. Now, where I will count the Kofi Duma the Abem, what they total President Mahama on 120 days now. It's not being characterized by arrest? And I say it's focused because is this the reset? Because social President Mahama 120 days now, he was very clear on the oppressor here, and I have his document here. Very clear. One of the things, oral. No, oral also is preceded by arrest. But Kofi Duma, the woman can't share about or say under oral media.
Okay, one to say President Mahama, Eka said, Nansansu your tomboka. It was Kofi Duma was an anoka. Give Hawk in Kwano.
Some made there some no can Kofi Duma sem.
Yes, 50 million Ghana cedis. And a year car Kofi Duma a jay. Menoka say Yakwachi come, you know one ho back when I want a baho. And Yaja back also one ho. And almost the cars in the do one wha a Yesikan or the J. Yenim says he can't edit Kofi Duma. Not according to report from the Yokono. Not every week Bians no cast on money 40,000 Ghana cedis. Just send them bread mobile. And to me, Besame Busao says a uko ye a Benjuma. Na says he can't Tiawono. Was some for so long we are Jumano accountant here himself. Now what should be a moment because I am infinity. Na cast
I can allowance one. I only say public service in penny for no more allowance. Wow, Moje.
Allowance in Nkoaa.
And an office budget and I say a day.
If you are, oh yeah, see you are. Yeah, what Wakatria the mount.
Yeah, I know, but they also have budget for more office expenditure. Tea, coffee, near the more or a you or
and in Subetimas here. Responsibility allowances. Fuel coupons. And near the mount, and can't near be charge because legally near the mount. Near what force you.
Hello, Prof. Prof, don't talk to me, baby.
Near ya force what force you my J. and Kaho, but almost so we see you and as a managing director, Joman Timinkano, the accountants in our any auditors, report it. And he said, Obi per public position, my main country, no. The internal auditor report at Yabia, or Becca Chairman, Mess idea we and Yanisa, but Ober bully way, by our report to her. So,
how can you prove so Kofi Duma and it's 40,000? Yeah, okay. So 40,000 was not part of the office budget. Say on Fanto T.
Yeah,
okay, very well.
Onipano internal auditor report for her and board the BIA internal auditors report bro. Accountant, head of accountant, and the financial report bro. No much of the Sika yenya yeni a car ni yeboni. Until the board sits and decides, okay. Nya okoye no say this onkwaje bosia say e kase no muja ho ye kimi fra wo ba because mudi wo ho ne mo number wo ho a mo free one managing director na ye from ba enti omo report based on this report and na ya fra Kofi Duma say omra no meyi na no so now he's a suspect enti what way does the law say say ye hu say nyama bi ankoso a even staff audit cry eka ho say what for staff no be bra bro so you can't be on your Juma, and also another crime of itself. Then you know, you want those charges that they are book of Juma. And to Mumia, but
now, what for workers more than and they're saying a crime, and there's no offense or criminal action.
Financial mismanagement.
Yes,
Nipa and SDA Juma for Nipa 20 years. You train the Pebino car, Omunya Juma, now public funds in the Tuomoka.
I know, and recruitment is squarely CEO na recruitment and HR manager.
CEO influence the recruitment.
Because meaning so in corporate organizations, no, yes, it's HR and a recruiting company CEO.
And HR and Kwana Ghana recruit. Ya was CEO some crop form do moba, that's a for her, and intina abaphobia bar. Almost with me yin crofobia, okay. Ya be auditing, inti ya be forensic audit, ya be staff audit, in your home crofwa, ya do mobile ya Bank of Ghana BSC ya hum. Ya do mobile and 6 months they are on probation. But I heard the probation on more now. Nipa 5 na say yes adwuma no mo the time back was so my 15 10 no buy no mo nya adwuma bia ba yetua muka so the problem is that yetua nkrofo bebre ka yes wo ba be ma nkrofo adwuma but adwuma bia ni ho a yansisa nkrofo nkogu adwuma keke
okay so, very well me come back to 40,000 no prof what's it 40,000 is there evidence say enye ne office allowance almost friend miscellaneous. I am one my accountant for any friend miscellaneous. For instance, office expenditure. Yeah, because I see your money so our visitors beba. Yeah, the tea best serve you more. To say the ministers no entertainment allowance near the no. No can you pay salary no because you don't expect the panel to use the salary.
Of LGBTQ young crop when my main church has seen me years and I be most of the time, you remember as a journalist and I say you just what get into the system. No one send your to me check Ghana for a year. Sikabia ebeko CEO ho and I'm managing director ho and our board ho no is documented by the financial director.
I know that.
Auditor. So for so way say mama me say because me here.
How do you conclude our force in the way? And what I'm person with you
yeah, and I make them way. Say for so way. It's there's a power of if. Say ne bro for if. There's no people ha bro for na me dey between no twi kasa ne
conditional clause.
And he said, okay, say, me na me yes you, and ma me 10,000 fanya de. No busa say boss, obeso de ye den, osu me de yard ye. No de be ma. But who how obetro no e wo system no. Nti obetumi and miscellaneous. Now, if another government comes no be equals okay, miscellaneous will explain it. Because now we are being told say even Bank of Ghana over 630 something million this morning and buy say almost declared bank almost bad debt. Enti busa ho say nipa he na omo beji sika o Bank of Ghana omo antimi antua so omo wu anom wo he a ye declare the bad debt sika no wo he. Enti as a responsible citizen say wo ba na beto sade man na you query it. Now how do you query it? Where do you query it? You go to the internal auditor, our part of management say what human is all be auditing all financial appropriations. E then sika we ko ha obeka kire wo say sika we make say e mane mfa na momo no one month me we dem am nka say mi na beti mase omo amfi me e na omo fae nti those report from the internal auditor is there, report from the financial director is there, so the new board and the new CEO look at it, okay, and yes sika bia kwadi baby omo kwaje ebosia fa 30 million bosia no omo ye den omo so omo di tuaka nti wakwaje bosia 30 million or the abetuaka for 4 years in ye tua on the na ban ko ba wo ba betoka wutua 4 years no 50 million by 4 years we tua 22 million and no wutua 7 million aka 50 million na obeto no, so you have to question because
well prof when they have to prove it because I don't understand still I know
how to prove it. Prove no yet report na auditor na diaba no any accountant diaba no, so the security agencies come for this omoba no omo be frewa. You are a suspect first, and every suspect is innocent until proved guilty. And to suspect, you have a near to one. Says, and some ray of any afreno, you have to triano, mummy and train. Oh, mummy and train you bessie, but you take BPR politics, say. So, Ubi Diana, my young friend, near friend, dear, near politics, say.
No, I think prof, so for Bianca Semobi and Frobi, I think the issue has been about the Rambo style. I almost the coach. But Kofi Juma didn't see me video. The national security fund were very respectful.
Yes.
They were very respectful.
So they have learned from multimedia. So what they did is that Omo okay prono to send ya Omo babedin komasi ya pesi ani Mr. Kofi Juma kasa. And you obi prono na Omo okwa no Omo Omo take arrest one and share and say your financial security ni ya befanya ko busa wonsem. Now according to Poyando, our year MPP communicator ewo Ashanti region no. O say na opesen kwasesa na ho e na Omo say there be yehia osisi ya. And there are ethical part of it. Me nanka me say national security ya de bianca nipa emu beta ho na manfo ati no mo ye na say. But security so near ma to mebu o wa e opaque kakra and yet transparent. But ye nyina ye di akire because ye nyina ye Ghana for Kofi Dwuma ye Ghana ni obubusiani and ye see treat you bia with dignity. Enti e yes o mo call ye no mu wura fie no mo de na call. Ne e really say o mo nkwaye obi bibia ye mo no ye nti no ye nka no. Na mom ye kototo na no asem na ya hwehwe evidence e was asem na omanya no because you charge first, then you make the arrest, then you look for evidence, then you go to court. You court na be decide na asem ba nya na me pese me kire ni say Ghana for no say ya chi obi a sebe 17 or ho or no a national chairman of MPP JFK or General Secretary, Yankwachi Obia. And to what 1 year she no, song Obi me how again. But yes, suspect said be wa. So now who fears maybe one drama or Obi or MPP and Casa was no. Minimum crop for MPP for Kwachi or more, almost a MPP for, but it was Rambo Star. Almost what you young MPP, minimum MPP, over Juma for Willie, my body dean. Or no, I can find Crawford Brofo at the year clinic. I would Juma for her. Now, Brofo no buy or mobile, you know, and now, okay, say, MP Nika say, a cow parliament is on the door, but was it the women I'm performed by Rambo Star? You could run if you couldn't come in.
But Saturday we're going forward. No, I democracy in no prof. Unjin to say we must change. Because I'm penny for way a simple invitation say Brani and Musa was tell the police. I like what the police ID no more. Yeah, wouldn't to me the one or more Brani and Casa. And there you go, because it may be a do no. We must take a to that level.
So, me know ya Jane, and me know ya Jane to say, assembly breba, say a radio, swing your TV, so any social media tem didier, me, and ya dear manager home. It sounds as will be ubu dear tem, no be do at a man, unshapping film. And yes, I say ye jatem didier, not ye educating for more, near informing for more, because at tem didier entertainment, you know, at us. There were problems in so to ya quine, and yet. Galamsey is solano egusu ho. A juma ye hear juma be brima you for no, because I'm ranting in my way. Yam pet juma mom something to live for. If ya obi will give them something to die for. And you almost so a here new mom bay. Now make any sense will be where juma be papa be, no ye juma ra bay. Anyhow, if I hear Fedi Pabby bay. New Ministry of Education say a Fedi Pabby 10,000 teachers. And this staffy, and only panny ye juma ya. Or where you might know Yesica or deep shady fear, or friend Galamsey, Uncle Yen Hoofy, Uncle Ram Nenumu and Yanahosa, because I will word you mouth. And Jessie educate here was said, so we MPP need through and through. Not say MPP need be, say, it's alleged, say, Wafesica, near the friend near to Tunanoa, and Manning how. And Untina Esifwa, Vincent Esifwa, now Case, will be a can as a say he should carry his own cross. And Crawford Braka said, a friend is saying, former finance minister, you should carry his own cross.
Yeah.
Because Obia Yama oppositioner, you are accountable for your own actions. And yet general MPP for Niachi Obia.
It is be describing President Mahama by say 120 days now. Arrest and quiet to be wrong.
It's there for a purpose. Unim say the core issue I Ghana for say, yes, MPP for NDC for Naya Crom for. Omunyina disika, but MPP for ba yanchia no maba kra. Na fe omukọ. When we so ba yesu MPP for nyina ya kronfo. Omunyina disika yanchi obi anu omunyina akọ. Enti Ghana for who say, then it is politics as usual. Omu do omadwindi agro. Enti efia me kan ne esisi dua say ora ya ye timi chi nipa 10 po. Etimi hwehwe omasem nya de omu gumu a. Na MPP for so ba no mo so hu NDC for mo so disika no mo so chi 10 e de omu gumu a. In fear, Edwin Wachino, who was a corruption, a so better cry. Because he can't be brave about my mono, because I bear I do you do me, yes, sir. And the MB before NDC for Bama Bechi before Mobiasica, and 2 NDC Muna on Sushi ye. The one could Biasica, because MB before born bed day. On Betcha one so Edwatu, Yayanis are not Sronti or be near Yesica. Says he can yet the Bayer Pine, yet the Bayer schools, yet the Bayer hospitals. Ye the Bayer parks crania a crampo, Nankapes Kumasi near you because your parks in an ye sissy dine. So, and you know, say a TSCA, we are so only see a sika about Mamunano, a quarter of it, a co individual pocket. If you are 25% and a co individual pocket, besides the sole sourcing, any 10% I am a contract agrofogeno, Kakrano so mano, ye timico bobosiano, idea bia or bia, yebenya, a dia cretiania, a fund, you know, even Ministry of Education, most of their funds is coming from German Technical Corporation, is coming from the USAID, and a Trump a freeway. Government of Ghana, GOGC, and co-ministries in how. Mahama by no streamlining Yama, and the Ombechanya Zicano ma. Wow.
It's Mommy can't just say, oh, rate it 120 days. Now, how would you rate it? Or our analysis, President?
And even people who are shocked. Shasanya Yesidi, Abafom. Shesenia a petrol yateso. From 17 ababedu 12. Na unim se sa petrol no Mahama yobi a okanda kre. So we leader bi a nka petrol yateso 6 cedis no. Ko beto so 5 cedis. Na nka one no odi ahye ni aka num na kwa se onka che Ghana for but 1 cedi no abeye for doom so levy no anka onka che obi a na ya secretly. But he was open to the public, said, this is what I want to do. Because what is to 6? And I did back eka hunting court so 5. And now back on shem dada and can go be at your kind of. But he was very open to Ghanaian and said, this is the situation. And I make I say, Panibi or Yeli debia problem ban a jumum necessary microphone half with you my di. No betting our car say, a same for half a call. But no my jumache. And this me you are my behaging. I didn't think I may make Tim a cat you also have. Obian soon take Tina cat you also have. Send a bear moon and man can see a little more for no. Almost soon Timino Montranya Juma. Obia Penesusa. And the leadership is we are open and collaborative. Leadership is we are open and collaborative. And I think, sir, for the past 120 days, remember, sir, Yera Mahama, in the first term, when Yasa 120 days, because Nana do the court for 8 months. The first 120 days, I went any. Now here quickly so ye in the cabinet. Or her senior even Independence Day. Ye the crookery yambo cabibre. Or her senior ye tea ministers so. Ye tea ministers so. Or share and yama or ye within the first 120 days now. She inflation send your bar from ultimately say Nanya brain to Mahama Ababio time media. And yama or no. I hear even MPP for crown and then I'm
but there are key issues though. Anchor for question. Galamsey. NDC Kasobe creative state of emergency. Ye LGBTQ plus. Mumpa say law no. Yeah, all these things name Uncle Foka say, look, I said more the oral no no cover up the most important issues. I'm reset no.
Against Galamsey. Now, Omobekasa law no. They should revoke it. Last week, Mikokan was about you 3. They should revoke it. Revoke. So, any amend, 2 different things. Revoke a administrative term.
Why na cast one revoke law no?
Coalition against Galamsey. The coalition against Galamsey. Now, coalition against Galamsey, no, Omo abetro my brain abaning about the law. Abano aye law needs to say, you can't go to forest reserve area. To mind, it is what chat or witty. Uchani or witty and Yaka Huma. Until with this gone, now we can repeal the law. You see?
Yeah, but Prof, I'm saying this young had the agenda before Omoba power. Until with the 120 day no to 2-1. Galamsey government we want blue water gas. And so
But you are making some analytical challenge mistake. I don't know. Idea atna ho ache 8 years na do nyesa one fight you ye nyina ye nim yes ye nim committee or set ye ne scandal ba mu nkrofo ana wo Jubilee House ho any commission ye set ye ne cause na do put his own presidency on the line on this and Tiaga when Timia so President Mahama said he's not delusional to think that within 6 months you'll bet me solve it.
So, 6 months, something I think that people want to see an effort. There's a proper because NDC was very eloquent in opposition. It means that there was a plan in the emotion.
So there were 9 forest reserve areas yet taken over by Galamseyers. Now 7 has been taken back. Yenimsa Dr. Mane Boama, Minister for Defense are involved. Yenimsa police for Yenimsa Yakahana Bissiw wants a meboa. And yet forces. We are all advocating, say, yen declare state of emergency. And now say security zones. I am for security zone. Because Jubilee House. You declare Jubilee House say security zone, yakai. Now obi kwa demonstration say high security zone to me ma. And you declare this forest reserve area say security zones then nobody can go there. Then we station the
forest reserve the security zone that nobody even needs to declare.
For you 7 out of 9. 9 have been taken over. And security zone.
The forest. I don't understand that same way. The forests were already under forestry commission.
Yes, but me patch will say NDC buy you know. Not Galamsey for now. I take you over 9 forest reserves.
Why am I take you over?
Not Galamsey. I take it over. I must say NDC has been able to retrieve 7 out of 9. Check your records. Let's see.
Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence? I didn't abide my evidence way.
Let's see.
Okay.
These areas, you know,
I don't have that evidence, Prof. Where is the evidence I bind to me?
Yes,
7 Prof.
I am teaching how to use the Google Learner. Just say be able to Google. She say type say retrieve forest reserves in Ghana, and then you see.
Prof, we're meeting me media person. We can plant stories and make you Google it. I'm saying evidence in your stories. Where is the evidence that buying to me retrieve 7 forests?
I have talked about this. So Google, let me be on Google. I'm using my phone on the internet.
Prof, I'm passing up my yes, I didn't minister for lands and natural resources. Dr. Manibo, I didn't come for videos near evidence and make sure say. Why is government silent over this?
Who am I talked about it?
And I didn't wow.
I talked about zones are almost zoning for soldiers in that way. Forest reserve, you know, my be on Google say how many forest reserves have been reclaimed by the government now since NDC came. Mamu Google can.
There be bro Google there for Google when you're admissible in court. Google cry and find your court evidence. Yeah, proper evidence. I just say I
fear the results are there. Maybe you've not seen it.
I have not seen it. I don't know. Some evidence here, Prof.
So I'm talking about awareness. Awareness comes with the power to rewrite and research. Idea when you're aware, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm telling you that this is what is there. So Nkoaa raised the issue. Say what NDC is doing now. No, most of the communication people now have even taken positions. Nobody is talking about what is going on there, which is another issue for NDC now. But I'm saying, say they are doing everything. You're talking about the water thing, and that is fine. But there are a lot of things this government is doing now to stop the Galamsey. One thing is the law. The expectation in it was say we should revoke the law, and I say, yeah, about to Nkoaa, but the government has repealed some of the law. They have amended some part of it, and after the amendment, you know, the next step is to repeal. Dr. Maliba, Professor, your friend is saying, Mr. Maliba talked about this last week with me on the same platform. So people are not aware, but that is why I am here to create that awareness. To say there were 9 forest reserves taken over, 7 has been reclaimed back by this government. Check it. Just check it. And when it comes to Galamsey, this government is working more. We expect the results because this is just 6 months after coming to office. We expect more results with time. But I'm also calling say I am for more. Because when he be any will be was as well. Now over to Galamsey, I won't aware. One gas and meetings I will cast him for no be pay the highest bidder, not the other man. So many Nkoaa, I know Macassa, or more Galamsey, yes, over Corona, China need to ho. If you China ain't no Busani say, or a wire or so no in charge here. Was your beer ye free immigration for coho? I'm telling you, one authority says, say, immigration for the crack coho because you deport foreign nationals. And the immigration in Nkoaa, I've talked to a lot of immigration officers. Now, what can China and say, I'm in charge here, also, okay, with immigration, bring your documents. I want to gun near Pia Basso, oh, or you're my client. Now, the bank and I will so a buyer, some will a betche a you for. Make us if you me, I don't talk about what I don't know because me want integrity. I have an integrity to protect.
Very well, but for us, the end of the problem, we need to get a
check it and see. Say since NDC buy forest reserve, I know my claim on the back. Just and then let's talk about it next week. Just check it because
I need more evidence. It's not just about the buying back because then because Galamsey has become so politically charged. You know, we need further and better particulars.
I am a politics. And then me papa no ni me din komo say or genetically MPP. Now me say there's nothing wrong with MPP aboa na wodi akire. But no kra no wo ho na wan fan to ho a eyira. And she said obi johnny NDC, obi johnny CPP, obi johnny MPP. I mean I don't have any problem. Because party aboa no and wodi akire. Yes sir. Sir and aboa no so one how I say and say any bon. Party in our one no dear, many problem with it. But say obi ya the papa. Now what can? And I'm saying, say, Owusu Bempa no money because Bempa no ye PR or Ghana guys. They have been say, was something he's even ashamed. Say, look at finances. Look at what
yeah.
look at what Atu Forcing is doing. Yes, so time could do and way in America me boy. And just obi ya did not say, yeah, not so NDC also MPP. Yeah, can because my minim the anti-angrophobia I almost say. Say me wo party bi na me ni party bi anon baby anya me fe. Me, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that kind of person. But say I didn't know obi ye na ye fa. Ye si kasem we say etito ye ye si di amanu muso enyina fa akon. En ma form amanu muso. Say wo kwasi $1 price o ye mfasa ma ha o ye to ade na in series because the city is stronger now. Say your inflation a form into interest rate for bank a okoji loan na aba form. Sanyama we nyina ye ni aba we ya MPP ntimi anye. Enti se we ntimi anye bibi no obi be ya eno nsusu ntimi nkasa wa ya ade. Enti se ebusa question wo classroom na we ntimi ansa. Na obi nso ansa na yesi ye mo ensema di papra usembo no so homo.
I know you should be applauding government for at least the way we deliver so far.
Government MPP should be applauded because we thought we had an economic czar. We thought we had an economic czar that was touted everywhere. Say, but Umia is an economic wizard. Nanado said all in the campaign. He had 172 questions. So be to me answer. Now, when it came to the time for him to answer those questions, he was doing Mr. Fastia no man any other way. But Umia ran away from economic issues. Now, at 2 force, school will take hey, but he's doing well. Ghana hey, no
it's early days yet. It's just 6 months.
I am not praising.
We haven't seen 2 years. We haven't seen a IMF to forcing.
There is something called celebrating small wins. So, uko school ye, but so years and now ya no akopedua no restaurant no wedi now the ajuju class away the my yard. You are celebrating small gains and no a pile up to the bigger gain of graduate degree because certification endorsement of a training. Enti training now wokono kakra na unya A unya B+ osu we dia yamakwan ma menkoto tade bi emfa nhyan jojo mekra because my yire me anyemiti for bosome miensa na manya A adenti na mentimi papa me ho kakra. So we are celebrating the small gains and not just say say they need to do more. So
and about the LGBT now some mama for join national movies move say phone no lines na Nkoaa. Well, LGBT 6 months they said they all kind of celebrate small wins. Other than 6 months who say government that also an indication of leadership is because the president was very vocal about showing leadership in the LGBT issue.
If you idea member we are seeing hypocrisy. Your parliament, the fourth parliament here, so the 8th session at Nase at the individual bills by St. George, it go through all the processes our parliament, meboa. They went through all the processes of parliament. You pass it. All the president had to do was to sign. Me kokan wasem. Emma, would you Google me na said even it's not every American who is gay. I was attacked. There were articles written about, you see, yam penokraka. I say yam penokraka, yabebre. Same way, yam penokra, yabebre. Maybe what you say, the America for constitution and now democracy, near the bio, open at the buy and a young ye. But America for the constitution, a democracy by they realized in 1779 say all the 3 arms of government, the judiciary is the weakest. Because American Constitution has said the highest number of the judiciary should be 9. And out of 9, you convince 5 and you have a law. You go to Congress, first and second chamber, difficult. The executive is difficult. So what they do, they say, when Obama tried Proposition 18, na anye na Oshashia with California, Oshashia and pass no, who said you go through all the states, 25 states, and sana we know 25 states, a referendum. Let me try the judiciary. And the next day, the LGBT law was passed in America. So we woke up the next day And then we're scrambling in at the universities. Female bathroom, male bathroom. What do we do with the intersex and the others? And Tinyame Pachirani said, we all spoke against it. You go through the process for parliament, all that the president had to do was to assent, and that bill becomes a law. Now, uko opposition 6 months, and now Mahama so me. But it is not in the hands of Mahama. Why do I say so? As I said, the current parliament have to go through the process again of individual bills. Now, omu debate to parliament. Ni vote also ansana ye possible na speaker no make sure say possible na e dey to president na him na was sign. You go through all these processes. Mo say na Mahama answer ade. What must say? Enti enyema bi wa ye kan, wa ye go through process ni nyina individual bills or parliament. You debate on the floor. You pass that. Amana be ye bill. All that the president had to do was to sign it becomes a law. Wanye no free 6 months here. I feel no Mahama say only the Ombra no me sign. Meanwhile, you go through any process. And the other yes, I didn't Mahama the young person only because President Nanado or Parliament go through.
I feel made to say yeah, he had all the time.
Yes. Oh, I am on main no crack.
Yeah, but doesn't change the fact that mo can say mobile with speed. You would move pass it on.
There are pressing issues. When we came, we had only 5 days for fuel, not do saba. Fuel in fact, it remember last month and last 2 months, now 2.6 days, 2.5 days. Now you need fuel, you power electricity, now for you. So there are many pressing priorities. As I say here, Jumsoya one of the issues. Juma anywhere one of the issues.
But you say it's LGBT pressing issues. The way opposition mo can want some be pressing issue.
Yeah. A big issue. Say make customer and for si boni. A issue by all prioritizing yama be. Say sabi we can crowd be juma na be no aduane na be si nyama na obe mo pe floor. O hwe nya be ye no kane abeye. Na nya ye din no according to time management strategy no nya ye din ma on na ye ne kane. Na wo bia na nya ye mrema on aye easy. And the din na ye say ye be da sumu. I see a kind of Galamsey wasem. I see a kind unemployment wasem. These are issues. Yeah, we are LGBT near you said it. So we've been in pressure demo, not some of your number and can phobia. But ya wombra, a day, yes, I didn't and your culture. Speak up, can wasem. President Mahama can wasem. And into your beddy hujuma. But some ready, you better me and want to work a crabby answer.
Ansana, okay.
Galamsey. But
provided at 6 months, we haven't seen at least process. The minister buying say bill now expire, so we have to start the process all over again. But say we haven't heard anything like that.
Process in Parliament another time wasn't started by Nanado. Individual Sam George no more NDC for and MPP for be no ever home. I think say Andy appear could be normal home. NDC for be and a chas ye, and now MPP for be back home, and no more individual bills, and you're reading the floor of Parliament, and if you are debate here, and the speaker a take vote on that. Nana ya kwana bra. If you want kai say, sa LGBT as mwase ya me, my babu station, now war Adom FM. Mianga same baho, my name was for money, and Dr. Ye appear kubi. Yaba can wasem. And the idea, Miangasa Wangasa, you have been involved. I have also been involved. Yabeka wasem was from when no man a chas here and acquire the Kudu Parliament and parliamentary bisomu. That process have not started yet because near your brain, you could do yeno, another one sent you no ashiabu. A friend individual has been sabe chas here with the bill. Some George now was chas here is so a minister or a minister of communication. I will also soon data and then near one is a problem one so. So, have you seen say MPP, I raised that issue, say me initiating individual bill on this, now for Yansha seen in between on the floor. They've not done that. And the assembly higher bar now we can. Yes, young kind of crano, but you have to know where we have come from and where we are going. And I think, sir, we have to start the process again. Unfortunately, process in Aisha, and could we because President and sign. Yet in the finance minister can say, no, sign, we're going to lose 38 million or so immediately. And Tisikana Kebelu Suntino, another one sign. To say, as I said, individuals be na make us say okay say me ho ye be kan wasem me ni bosses from wani o studio e wa dom na wa dom
Yeah, me kai.
could be be kan wasem enti saa na didi so ansa na ekodu parliament na individuals bi so som well individuals ni som no and ye call na eko debate wo floor our parliament and majority ejitu mu ansa na speaker make sure say abeye bill but bill ye ntimi fa nya hwe this is the president that sent it to na be law president na anya it now unfortunately we have to go back to the process again na individuals being share and the individuals our parliament no asem way enye president asem way parliamentarians asem almost san revival ni say no mo ye ne kane no na say omo pass ya na president no ready na wa sign
Yo. Yo asem bono po.
asem
Yo asem bono po. Yo asem bono po. Because I thought that executive no and a young one my bills say one my omo they go to parliament. So if there's a political will and that's why people are concerned say the way I'm not agitation, especially Sam George there's nothing that says Sam George a minister own to me because first
so,
Sam George was an MP and he still found time.
That process is wrong. Members of parliament say a checks and balances separation of powers. I said yes, sir.
Well, they are idealistic position, I will chair, but this has been the process.
Right thing, because Sir President, the Bibi Banao or the Beshawans as a parliamentarian who pushimame, na Mr. Chia, not just the executive no will continue to suppress the parliament and your judiciary, no bear rubber stamp.
Okay.
I didn't think as the advocate to say next time, you know, your members of parliament biano on mambe ye a minister. And you know, that is something we are all pushing. Be a member of parliament biano, you shouldn't be a minister. Speaker so pushing say, even board cry a member of parliament and sister was because the speaker was given opportunity to be the board chair for NHIA, National Health Insurance. But 1 year, well, and kakra ni educate ya huni inform ya huni ebe so a member of parliament ya wadwuma ne so yes or laws enti sa board omoda so board chair omoda so ene ombeye ministers no yeji omo nyina free why they will be independent enough to check the exercise of the executive sa ene nyina pese constitution ekono kodru na nsentro for momo ayen so ni ani mrimu me kan na nsense Ghana has a oba ha afia ya reho obitimi the radio time ekasa se mema ne mahefo ene boro niema pa na we afre eyama we afre mema 2-3 hours meanwhile yakwanye yesuo problem Galamsey ye wo school problems ankwala bebre su ankonya na omede kọ ye wo hospital ankwala bebre dida form. Don't you believe say shas ye kasa ne menhu asem we TV stations na ne radio station na say yakwanye o yensuo nyo kunye ya aban ni maso since there bia no politicians since it's a wound to me, I bet you wouldn't to me. Na de no or your suspect near Busana Sema. Na parliamentarians in swarm wakotna yoku office and a young yet my young shem rebium. No, so shemran or so shem rebium because you wouldn't to me. Is that our standard? Let's begin to educate ourselves because parliamentarian, regional chairman of a party, Yachino as a suspect. Now, since Yan Shemra, your parliament at all, Yakotna former, is that the standard of a political party? So let's educate ourselves because we should raise the bar. We should raise the bar. For far too long, we have been petty as a nation. And your man can get it. You better be the Chief Justice once a me. Yaka for Busumi Mienu. Chief Justice once a Yaka for Busumi Mienu. But we have a constitutional way of handling this. Why don't you focus on developmental issues and unemployment issues? If you are Juma Ghana, ya this your Mufa Agadas. Efa Libya, ya this your Munna Mukrofo, Uko a Ukraine, Greenland, Ghana, and Jamaica, Ghana, and Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana for ya this year to 2 points. Yes, 7 Passia Juma to Juma, it's as a young creating Numa Maya home, and no Namomi and you when you drama home, Yankan wasem, so that we can find just for people because Ghana for Nyanko Piakuman Coabet and Chromo. Your Chromo higher there. Abrofwebiania Uwino, she pans when ye. Because then you be new mammy jasso. So, and Mumma wana young hammer politicians and he said, Mumma ya Juma, Munya Quine, Munya school, Munya hospitals, Mumma ya pass, police system, and say you're good, near boy home by because Obikra was still dying, Obia for Butabesi 10-bedroom house, if you want to mean Namoda Hotel. Osro.
Your problem, I mean, I see. And no answers, baby. But I said, okay, no. You better to us next week, especially on the first LGBT, because I still think that we can do more. We are the BBI politics. Yeah, the BBI politics, but sometimes, but hold on. Yes, it's a sense of good evening. So, you know.
All right. Good evening, Sophia.
Good evening. Yes, you.
It's your Prof Enoch. So I think I've monitored him for quite a long time, and he seems to be very particular with civic education of the masses. Once Ghana, no, it all boils down to educating the public. Maybe as it shouldn't be always the political way. Say wage in a fast, now wage in a fana de be a pulley rope, na or mining developer. I think it also lies in the hands of the NCC, National Civic uh, Commission for Civic Education. I see a TT na ye brainwashing the way we think. Oh, I'll have to commend Prof. I've been following for a very long time. It's good with civic education, educating the public. First of all, no, say if you're platform, you should commend it. Ibrahim Mahama, your papa Ibrahim Mahama. It seems he's been doing a lot of work. I say, you born baso. Let me who video of a little girl now. Her eyes was shut. They know Kumasi, one of the SHS schools, and the eye was shut. I was sponsored and here didn't call UK. They say and who are there. I was highly impressed, and it should be a worthy of emulation to papa mom yes for Ghana. I said there should be an agent of change. Oh, SS cannot reflect in the lives of other people or poor
Ibrahim,
people.
da na na mote nneɛma no bi ba
Yeah,
abɔnten na bebree wɔ a ɔma ne mma abɔnten. The
but see,
same
at
goes
least,
for sikafo na ɔka bebree yɛ ba ɔmo mfa mma abɔnten.
but
Because
it's good.
Ibrahim in the past he was doing a lot of things, but ɔnka.
Yeah, but it's very good because Osha Aklani situation and come may I some called or that's what Ghana can any fra. It would have, messed up her life. But enemy who
But
video
I
now
would
was
say
very much
sometimes the
happy.
politicians kɔ abrochi enye ni nyinaa na ɔsɛ yɛde politics because
Yeah,
genuinely no enye bibia na treatment bia na ɔmbɛtumi ayɛ wɔ Ghana.
it's true. It's true. The best of healthcare there. Who ye the Western world now, you can't get it anywhere. And I was so happy. Say at least we need to commend him. Nyamana or yes, and on Koswa and Yamani other side because there are some other people they will try to discourage him with what he's doing. So I was so much amazed, and I think I need to use your platform to commend him. So on Koswa and Yamfamboa Ghana mine. Now at least yes, so I ban yes, you yes, cat is on one yes, so it's the same thing. Eddie Abobo Amanfo. I was say if you call Galamsey no so I think what Dr. Hannah Bissiw-Ghanaians, I think is in the right order. You can't say a train substantive minister. I don't know about baby. I mean who's a Nizil no they fight Galamsey and Hosa. Oh, I think the new biter Dr. Hannah Bissiw they are is good. Oh, but it's unfortunate say young Ghanaians, meaning so what call you ban into you say then you. Well, say if you check the gender, am I passionate about things like things that has to do with nature? Ensure yes you say ensure mad be aduane and kwala ntimi nko school. Yeah, man, the adwin is keska kwaya for so end results to get money. But once say a bema they think about nature. It mean who's for yes, and I'm saying
But it doesn't change the fact the minister na directly responsible for lands and natural resources. Then ono wo ho na hana bisu na ono mom fund no ono mom na eye say adwuma no.
Me say onya obi be ye. Say say oye onya na obe ya. And at the end of the day,
No, but somebody they are KPIs, specific KPIs. Ntinya say
but
we be ye. The rules no must be applied.
I'm sure he's also occupying a portfolio of a mineral. I think it has to do with minerals. Natural minerals is affiliated, and I think she thought that she would sit at the office but do something, which we have to commend her. Me na many because me who say Galamsey fighting there. Akoye Rastos ne. Edema she be money omu group now say they see any IGP now wabani who so has almost fighting Galamsey, but with the ministers as a being on the field, I don't see that too much zeal and you know, you be as somebody fighting. Ain't me, my many, and I'm just happy for her. Say at least, or you be a man who said because if you are there, it doesn't make sense. These Chinese are destroying our water bodies and they are drinking mineral water at those villages. Imagine saying, "Kwalano more village on sugar no beno." What's that dibu ya? I mean, the first day I saw said the Chinese have ordered bottled water in the places that they are mining. You know. I was very sad. I said, in for farm, what's that area? We most Chinese for the issue. Omo de bottled water every Accra de Kumasi akọ share baby omo ye mining. No omo no bottled water. Na omo say musu. Na mo show omo no. Is it a good thing? Oh, into me, I think the minister media is not. I'm seriously me. I'm not just. I'm not happy with him. With Amakofibua, the style is not about press conferences and coming to whip on TV. It's about going on the field. If it comes to the point here, we need to use the military to assist her. We need to use the military. Oh, but it seems that we are playing with it. Yeah, we've seen naked fire, but we are playing with it. Into me, Hanabisu, the oil and because ono and when you first hand information, if you are a jam or site, who was going on, if you overreact. But we just have to commend it. And our president going forward, and you say Kofi Buan is not, doing matter. He needs to be replaced because it's not a honeymoon period for John Mahama. People know it. In his word, where he can't back up. And when people are expecting a lot of more things from me, even talking about LGBT, he's in 6 months into it, but you say you've not seen any much energy as to how they are going to come up with laws to fight the LGBT thing. But I don't know him, MPP also know it was left for President Kufuor just to assent to the bill, and that was it. But he couldn't. He didn't do it, so he has to start the whole process again. But you see how people are on his neck because right now it's not a honeymoon period for John Mahama. People know say Wabada. It is saying no, but no, people don't have any time and patience for him. You understand? And it may not with if you're with the Galamsey fight in there, say they are God, they are a bit cheerful, a bit cheerful. So and the danger is just 5 years ahead of us. We shouldn't see say far away. It's just 5 years ahead of us. And we need to be very serious and fight it. I don't know. It seems that we know the people that are doing it. We know it, they are politicians.
Oh, so that at the crime say na mami tio. Nana so microphone no. Aha. Mami tio says na so yen try benya
Yo,
na
sister Bia, ya mwakwa ba mfate, waja yimu ache, nyami nshirao. Wako hume pa, diya vidi bebo ejuma.
ya sati
Diye
na da
dikan.
na mi se no hu se aba.
Me kiye upa ba na ye mintimi urem. Na me try ya se me urem. Oba ye nyina na me kwe oto ni mse o diyo platform. Me mfe ni agro. And, eno ha Nigeria UK ha. Ye de shwe norma. Diye dikan. Yɛkyi abusuafoɔ nyinaa mɛkɔ prof deɛ ne so sɛ wotie prof kasa a ɔyɛ obi a n'adwene mu adɔ but asɛ politics no ɛdɔɔso me problem a mewɔ wɔ prof ho no wɔyɛ n'adwene mu adɔ onim asɛm a ɔka no onim deɛ ɔka but politics ne dɔɔso because deɛ ɔka biara yɛ asɛ nsɛm a NDC foɔ aka no ɛna ɔpɛ sɛ ɔde yɛ n'argument na ɔgyina so nti wobisa no question a ɛyɛ den sɛ obetumi ayi no by the way me blame no because n'aba nti ɛkwan bi a ɔbɛfa so a n'aban no ɛbɛtena hɔ no ɔbɛfa so ba adeɛ baako a mepɛ sɛ NDC foɔ hyɛ ne nso ne sɛ ɔma start yɛ campaign ɛma MPP foɔ NDC ọmụ nhyɛ ne nso sɛ ọma start ɛyɛ campaign ɛde ma MPP foɔ because nsɛm a ọmụ kan no wɔ opposition no nyɛ saa nsɛm no na ọmụ baayɛ ọmụ yɛ no deɛ di kan mo baayɛ mo si dollars so ate sista fia magyae mi project a meyɛ wɔ Ghana because cement ɛkɔ soro iron rods ɛkɔ soro. Bibia kosoro enso yɛse dollars ate aba fam enti dollars na ate aba fam no ɛte ba fam ɛma adan ɛte ma ɛba fam ma ɛdɛnti na yɛ ho ntɔ yɛn dollars ate aba fam enso yɛato electricity mu dollars ate aba fam enso teska ɛkɔ soro And so obi ba obeba be catch there say dollars e cost from entiate petrol so what petrol so na say auto electricity mo a me hu difference a ewo and two eniema school fees ni bibia kosoro oman ni mu eye dene but NDC eye oma agenda say omo de omo ba wo ye dan de oma ye oma dwene say eno no omo beka no eno no omo beka bibia nkoye wo Ghana amamuo no agensem me enuoma a omo hye ho bo se omo ba Akufo-Addo mmere so na Akufo-Addo ye ho adwuma te se one district one factory ana eye adwuma no ene omo jai edi ebiem omo ka kire se omo ba oh 24-hour economy ebe ye adwuma ene ewai enti sa nuoma ni nyina ye nuoma a Emma Ghana ni aye twetwe no yensanka enti de ye pese ye ka Emma Ghana for ti ase ni say amamuo no yenye mu bi ye kan se amamuo we nya amamuo a ebetumi ababa beje yen oh
article into no say some part of your point and I'm saying now a article.
Yeah, it seems I'm any breaking. Summarizing everything, I think, there should be a lot of effort. I say abandon the real with the Galamsey fight. I know, say, fine, they are also contributing some amount of gold to the reserves because gold no mutua or many man or moton. It's quite a manner a demo, but we should also think about our health. Nini na kwa is kes na unyes can our health compromise. There's no sense in it. And I think the government has to put much effort into the fighting of Galamsey. What do you call it? Hanabizu, if she has to be empowered to do more, and now there are other people that they need to get. Or maybe na bekan one more my yard dinner. Or me any encouraging ni enjoy like as a Ghana what she's doing is good, but it seems as a people are pulling her. No, must say she doesn't be man 100 and yet boss if you have this kind of mindset and then you're good. Oh, I did how you know, born man. Our natural resources are being destroyed, and unfortunately, most of the people doing the mining, almost free a como, almost coding, they are going back to their country. And then I say, me who how Ghanaians we see what's going on. Oh, and then I'm saying, my brother Bobby and said, there should be a community, collaborative with the youth and communities. Me and Boamon fight it, Galamsey, because if we don't involve the community guys now, I think it will be a wild goose chase because most of the community boys need harmony here there. If they say they no money be here, they will just join them to do the Galamsey work. Until I think that the government should also involve the community guys. Community no more involved with chiefs and that's idea. I say so as a acquire so destructive kind of thing. I say be here frustrated. Me, who can I do with my frustrated because we are 6 months into the government of NDC and we don't see any positive. Fine, say I teach amount for them. With all the guys I actually mean, we've not heard anything from the government as to prosecute two man. I say but the police release press statement and say, oh yeah, check this X amount of people are normally illegal mining. And this site. Yeah, impounded excavator way, yeah, the weapons, but we don't hear what they are like. Are they being prosecuted, or what are we doing with them? Oh, these are the questions at least they need to answer for us to know. Say this is a progressive reporter. Yeah, free.